coming up and down under EV adventures. My wife and I were in Perth last week and we finally get to test drive the twin motor Volvo XC40. Let's have a look in more detail at this pocket rocket of a car. Welcome back everyone to the channel. Today we're going to look at the Volvo XC40, which has now been renamed as the EX40. And I did test drive one a few weeks ago, and that was the newer model. Today we're actually test driving last year's model, which is a demo model. So it's the old naming of XC40, and it's the twin motor, also called the Recharge Twin. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into it with my wife and I somewhere in Perth test driving this car. We're in Osborne Park. Okay, so we're sitting in the Volvo XC40. This is a demo model which has done around about 10,000 kilometers. And the difference between this and the C40 is the C40 sits a lot lower. The roofline is lower, and it's got slightly less cargo space and head space in the rear. So I think if we were going to buy a Volvo, it would be the XC40 because the roofline is a lot higher. And we've just driven it down to this lovely lake here called Herdsman Lake, and the visibility is very good in the car. So the window, the A-pillars look to be a little bit less than they are on the Atto 3. So visibility's been great. Now, as you can see, there's a sort of built-in dash on the car, so it's got a sort of a more traditional instrument cluster. There's no real binnacle to speak of. And one thing about the Polestar, Volvo, Geely group is that they often have the maps there on the display there, like on the Polestar we drove recently in South Australia and last year. And you can also have them, of course, here on the touchscreen. So I do like that. So first impressions, it's obviously a lot more of a conservative car than, a lot of cars that we've driven. Certainly a lot more conservative than the Sea Lion. The touchscreen in the middle is a lot smaller, but I do like the excellent Google Assistant. So we've been using it and trying it out. So hey Google, turn on heated steering wheel.
Got it. Turning on the steering wheel heater.
Okay, hey Google, navigate to Perth Airport Terminal 1 Domestic.
Navigating to Perth International Airport, T1.
Hey Google, cancel navigation.
Stopping navigation.
Okay, so as you can see, they're absolutely excellent. It's pretty much flawless. And in general, the software on this car, it's chalk and cheese compared to the Subaru we looked at recently, isn't it?
It is, and I truly enjoy the heated seats and the lumbar support.
Yes, I should mention there is lumbar support when I go through the seats in a minute, but you can see obviously you can do a lot with the car, and people will be pleased to know that you can actually have one pedal driving on this car. So I haven't totally sussed out the menu here yet, but it does have one pedal driving. So if that's something you're looking to have, it definitely has it in this car. All right, let's have a little bit of a look at the front here and go through a few other things. Okay, so there's no real ambient lighting as such, but I believe these look very nice at night time. They sort of light up like mountains. You've got memory seats. You have got a Harman Kardon sound system, which is really good. And you've got scuff plates which come with the car, and this model also has some floor mats. The seats are pretty comfortable, and as my wife just mentioned, you've got lumbar support here, which is great. So you can see, I don't know how well you can see that on the camera, maybe you can't, but that definitely works, which is excellent. And of course you've got your other adjustments there. So pretty comfortable seats. Now it has got a few storage options. You've got the wireless charger there. You've got some physical buttons, 2 drink holders, little storage thing there, storage in the middle. And look at this, actual line bins here, or drinks holders. So no more scratching to worry about on the inside, and it'll probably soften the noises, but you have got some, and you can see a demo model here, it's got a few scratches there already. So the hard plastics down below aren't brilliant. Now if we sit in the back here, you can see it's got not bad leg room. In the middle again, a pretty traditional setup with your vents, heated seats at the bottom. So the outboard seats are heated here. So two USB-C chargers, which is always handy of course. A couple of mat pockets and the old ubiquitous drinks holder and armrest. So again, 2 people in the back, 2 adults, but maybe not 3. I think that might be a little bit squishy. You do get a sunroof in this, you know, being the twin model, and you do have a blind, which we haven't quite worked out. It's not very intuitive, the sunroof controls. We might have to ask the salesperson when we go back. So the salesperson showed us it's actually a slider control. So you slide your finger along here and then that closes and opens the sunroof. So pretty nifty. Alright, so I'll put the boot size on the screen, but it's got a pretty nifty thing here, which I believe is like a sort of shopping thing. So that goes up, slots in like that, and then you've got a space there. This one will hold and you can put stuff in there. It's also got an area here for storage cables. But one thing you'll notice too about the boot is it's lined. So you can see no hard plastics. So you saw recently on my Atto review the scratches I had here. Well, that's not going to be an issue here because you've got this lovely soft material. You've got this one here, protection. I probably wouldn't use that, but some people like to use it to hide their luggage. And 2 buttons, one for locking or one for just closing. Now you do get a rear wiper. So that's becoming quite uncommon on a lot of EVs these days. I'm glad it's got a rear wiper. Got the rear spoiler there, the shark fin antenna. Got this lovely recharge badge here. And I think it looks quite understated at the back. So it's not really a badge fest at the back like the Sea Lion we looked at. Just the model number there. Now this is changing of course to the EX40, but this is the last of the XC40s. The Volvo badge and recharged twin, which means it's the twin motor. So you've got 2 motors like the Sea Lion 7 Performance, one on the rear axle and one on the front. And you can see the other side of the back seat. Now the tyres, so this car comes standard with Pirelli tyres, Pirelli P0s, which I have heard of. They're a good tyre apparently. Okay, I'll just jump in here and explain about the tyres. So like a lot of performance EVs, it has wider tyres at the rear than it does at the front, which of course makes it a little bit problematic when you want to carry a spare. You're sort of forced to carry a space saver spare because of course you don't know which tyre will go flat if you do get a flat tyre. It could be either the front or the back. The rear has 2 55/40s and the front 2 35/45s, and they're 20-inch tyres. So like the Subaru, this is on the passenger side, maybe because it's a European car, I'm not 100% sure, but there's your DC when you take this out, otherwise AC charging at the top. You can see a little bit of the styling of the car here. I think it looks pretty nice. You got the Hammer of Thor headlights there and the great Volvo badge there at the front. Now does this car have a frunk? So there's a yellow lever here for the frunk release. Okay, so you've got some lining in here. It's not a bad little frunk, not as big as a few cars, but definitely you could fit some storage cables in there, and it's also covered. It looks pretty good. All you have to do is put water in there. Yeah, so it looks quite nice. Voila. So my wife's just been counting these parking sensors. So we've counted 10 of these parking sensors all the way around the car, which is pretty, actually even more. There's one here as well. 10, 11, that's 12 at the moment, 12 parking sensors. And we've got some great ground clearance on the car, so that's going to be great if you take this one off-road. Okay, so you've got a wireless charger here at the front, just one of course. Okay, so you can see there's the wireless phone charger there. You've also got some USB-C chargers here, and there's your 12 volt. And as I mentioned before, you've got a few physical buttons here. I won't go through all of them in today's review. Suffice to say, it's always nice to have. So we've just worked out this little compartment here. I mean, you could use it for storage, but it's also like a nifty little rubbish bin that you can take out, empty and put back. So that's pretty handy. So passenger seat is also fully electric, unlike that Kia, which shall not be named. You've got some manual seat bolsters. There are only manual. I'm not sure how you'd go if you put seat covers on the car. So now it's time for a bit of a test drive. We did have the car for roughly an hour, and over half of that was spent driving. So first of all, we just drove around some streets, and I do love the angled screen here there in the center, which made it super easy to change any of the settings. Now let's have a look how easy it is to set the cruise control. So with the cruise control, it's really easy to set. You just have to press this button and it will stay on whatever speed you've got. That's to adjust your lengths from the car in front, and you can go up in increments of 5 like the Atto. And we gave it a great test on the freeway. So first on the Mitchell freeway and then on the Graham Farmer freeway, getting it up to 100. And it's probably a good time to talk about the driving experience in general. I'd have to say the driving experience was excellent. It just cruises along effortlessly. You've got all that power on tap as you need it. So there's no driving modes to speak of. There's just really normal, and there is an off-road as well, off-road driving mode. So yeah, it's fantastic at any speed, this car.
Hey Google, find Volvo Cars Perth in Osborne Park.
Okay, Volvo Cars Perth. Let's go.
Where should I park?
Well, you know, at Volvo, they love us so much, they've given us our own private parking spot. It's right at the front of the doors. We can just park and somebody will valet our car for us. So basically we can just park a little bit further and right here.
He is Van the man. Should I just go?
And here's our personal valet. But all jokes aside, I've just wanted to give Volvo Cars in Perth a shout out. It was an absolutely fantastic dealer to go to for a test drive. The staff were great, they weren't pushy, and there was actually staff there, so there was probably 5 times as many staff there as we saw at the best staffed BYD dealer. So there you go. It was such a refreshing to go there and to have so many staff there willing to help you, and the dealer experience was just really fantastic. So yeah, thanks to Volvo Cars in Perth for letting us take this for a test drive. Now, let's go through the pros and cons of this car. And to start with, I just want to say, so just like the BYD C-Line 7, we're really struggling to find too much wrong with this car. So let's start with the pros. And I just want to apologise, I've got a bit of a cold at the moment, so if I sound a bit sniffly, that's why. Okay, straight into the pros. Let's start off with the build quality. So it's absolutely brilliant build quality, just like the Polestars we've driven. I would say it's right up there with the C-Line 7 and the best of the cars that we've test driven. So it's definitely bolted and screwed together extremely well, and I think you get many years of life out of this car. So the all-wheel drive performance is fantastic. So you've got that great towing capacity of 1800 kilograms. And 0 to 100 in 4.8 seconds. Once you get below 5 seconds in these EVs, There's all the power you need, not really much difference in the cars unless you dragging people off all the time at the lights. Now, it's not bingy bongy at all. The safety features are not intrusive, so the lane keeping assist can be turned off permanently. Yay! Reversing sensors aren't noisy, and like the Polestars, the noises are kept very refined. It's so refreshing to drive a car that doesn't beep and bong at you. So there's no stupid reversing noises, no fatigue sensors, just good quality safety features with a minimum of noise. It's just brilliant. So the Google Assistant is pretty flawless, and that matte integration into the dashboard also very good, makes up for not having a HUD. So I think the dealer network is pretty impressive. I was certainly very impressed by the dealer we went to. Parts are readily available, customer service I think is pretty good. As someone who goes off-road a little bit, the ground clearance is also very good, even more than the Atto, so that will help if you do go off-road. All in all, I think this car is a pretty fantastic package as well, but it's got some cons, so let's get into the cons. Like I mentioned in my first impressions video, the price of this actually starts over $90,000 for the twin motor version. It's clearly not a car for everyone. However, if you snap yourself up a demo model, you can actually get one for sub $80,000. So you can get one between $70,000 and $80,000, and I think that represents good value. And just like the C-Line 7, no spare tyre, and well, so many EVs don't have a spare tyre. No real area to mount one either or put one in, just like the C-Line 7, so you have to be very creative if you want to carry a spare tyre. Now it does miss out on a few features like ventilated seats, V2L or a HUD. None of those are deal breakers for us, but of course if you're looking for those features then this car doesn't have them. So overall, just like the C-Line 7, not really too many cons, but that of course is just our opinion. This is a car though that belies its size as a small to medium SUV with that slightly higher roof, some clever storage and lots of fantastic features. We think this is a superb car, and once again we're extremely impressed by the build quality. Now I think the economy would be very similar to the C-Line. It's 148 kilograms lighter at 2,192 kilograms, as opposed to the C-Line 7's performance at 2,340 kilos, and that's probably because of the more energy dense NMC battery chemistry, but it is less aerodynamic, so I think the real world range would probably be very similar. Now just out of curiosity, we had the car for roughly an hour. We probably did about 30 or 35 minutes driving in that time. It was a mixture of freeway and normal roads, and our economy was 19 kilowatt hours per 100, so very similar to the C-Line 7 when we took that for a test drive. So with a usable battery of 79 kilowatt hours, that all means the expected range would have been 415 kilometers. So yeah, very similar, we think, to what you'd probably get for the C-Line 7. Okay, I think it's about time we wrapped up this episode. That was our look at the Volvo XC40, a demo model which I think would be good value. You can take advantage of those EV prices which depreciate quite quickly, but maybe you can use it to your advantage rather than just paying the top dollar always. So yeah, we think this car represents good value at that price. And for those of you who are wondering, our journey to our new EV is slowly coming to a close. We've got a few cars on our list right at the top, and we'll be making a decision very shortly. But that's it for today's episode. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, we do really appreciate it out there, and I'd also want to thank everyone for their great comments on the videos. It's always interesting to hear other people's experiences with driving and what models they're driving as well. We always enjoy reading those comments, so thank you very much. Keep them coming. Anyway, we'll see you very soon. Take care as always, and bye for now.